Can AI get me into the Knicks Spurs NBA Finals at Madison Square Garden Game 3? This is a question that I asked myself when I opened up Claude, and I was like, listen, everything's possible in the way that the AI era is created. Let's see what we can make happen. And what I want to do is unpack my strategy, the assets that were created, and the lessons along the way that can help accelerate your growth in the AI era. Let's go, and I'm going to share my screen right here to help you along the way. So here's where this starts. I'm on my couch on Friday. It is game 2, first quarter. My family's asleep. My mom's in town from Arizona, and I'm super excited about these NBA Finals. And I've always believed that anything is possible in the AI era. So you can say, write me an email or build me a rocket ship to the moon. AI can do it all the same. So I jumped into Claude and I said, tickets for Knicks Spurs Game 3 NBA Finals are historic levels. At the time, it's like $10,000 get in. There's tickets going for $100,000. Let's create history and create a way to get in because of how historically great I use AI and we create together. Let's make it happen. A few little nuances here. Number one, I say, let's create history and let's get in because of how historically great I am, right? Because AI is a king of pattern recognition. So I want to be just hammering home, we're doing something that's never been done before. Number two, I'm using the Opus 4.8 model and I turn thinking on. I don't know what it's going to do, but I'm like, let's use the highest model that it can create for you. And here's what I love about this. It's like, this is going to be the biggest, loudest room in the history of the world, which is why I want to be there. I'm a huge sports fan. I love basketball. I love the NBA. I also believe in abracadabra. I create as I speak. If that's the number one place in the world on Monday, I want to be there, and let's figure out a way to do that. So what it says right here that I loved, we don't outspend this, we outcreate it. And this is completely because of the way that I use AI and Claude picks up on this, right? Yes, I could go and pay $10,000 to get in there, but that's not the exercise of what I'm doing. I want to see how AI can help me get in there. So what it originally recommends for me is two things. Number one, go to the top of the food chain of people that I know. Jesse Itzler and Ed Milet, because I've been part of both of their programs for years. I love the idea, but that's not the way that I'm going to go because I am not someone who is a taker, right? I just don't want to go and ask for favors from people, even if it is a logical way to go ahead and do this. But what it says right here, the build that becomes the ticket. This is your AI superpower made literal. Because the thing that I was thinking in my mind was, and I've always believed this, be so good with AI that someone wants to pay you for it. Because so much on LinkedIn is like, oh my God, I can tell you're writing with an M dash. AI is the worst. No one should use this. I'm like, throw that in the trash. Be so good that everyone's like, damn, I want a piece of that. Right? So we build a cinematic personalized artifact. And remember, the game is going on right now. So for me, this is like a second screen experience because so many people are limited by, I don't have enough time. I'm overwhelmed. I live a full life. Welcome to the club, right? So this is about signal recognition. I'm watching the game and I'm like, man, the Garden is going to be bumping. I got to get a taste of what that thing is like right there, right? And it's like, hey, let's trade this for a private AI workshop for someone's team. The build is the calling card. So we're going to use me building this as the way to say, hey, I will trade training your team with AI for access into that game. I'm like, I'm loving this idea. And then it says here, document the entire thing publicly, which is what I'm actively doing right here. And I've built my business publicly for the last 15 years. So this is just part of the DNA of what I do. So it says the journey itself creates the surface area for someone holding a seat to raise their hand. You win the content whether you get in or not. And this is a very important part that we'll get to at the end of how this all threads through there, right? So it's telling me, hey, here's what to do. And I just say, love this. Let's go. It's aligned to my creativity and thinking because I like that this is what it said. We're not going to outspend our way in there. We're going to outcreate our way in there. So it wrote me what to say to Jesse and Ed Milet, but I don't use those things. But I like that it gave it to me right there. But what it did create for me, and I didn't even ask for it, right? All I did was say, love this, let's go, aligned to my creativity and thinking. And this thing built out here a campaign called the Golden Ticket. And the second I saw this, everything changed because it took this from idea to straight real concept. And this is where I was like, boom shakalaka, right? So it says, one seat from Game 3 Knicks Spurs, the most expensive game ever played. And I see the way that it built out this golden ticket at Mitt One, Rob Cressy. Remember, I one-shotted this. Up until this point, I have only given it 2 prompts. My idea and being like, I love the creative element of this. So it says, why Monday matters, the biggest ticket basketball has ever seen, right? So we've got the average ticket price, the best price is what you're looking for. And you're looking at the proof. No designer, no developer, just mean a skill that I've learned, right? So I'm sharing why someone should exchange a ticket for me helping coach their team with AI because of the way that I'm doing this. And then to ask, help me get into the building. If you have a seed, a path, or you know the right person, I want to be there on Monday watching the Knicks chase the title at the Garden, right? And I bring real value back, whatever the answer, whether it's a private session, I'm building something, I'm doing a workshop, let me know. And then down here, let's create history. Have a seed or a path, DM me on Instagram or on LinkedIn. And I saw that and I was like, wow, that is incredible. And I only had to clean this up slightly with 2 additional prompts in terms of there was one color that was off here. So I just took a screenshot being like, hey, this is white, make everything black here. And then this is the big key right here is a few months ago, I left WordPress where I was for 15 years and rebuilt my entire website using Claude code. So my entire website is HTML based and I can use Claude to build anything that I want. So the second that it created this interactive HTML web page, I was like, oh, just create me the Claude prompt that I can put into Claude code to bring this to life. And there it is. All I had to do was copy this and bring it to life. robcressy.com/game3 if you want to check this out. And here we go. Legitimately, about 5 minutes later on my website is this exact HTML artifact from idea to execution. Let's create history. I'm loving this, right? So the game goes on, incredible game. Knicks hang on. Wemby has a shot to win it. And 2-0 Knicks, we're heading to the Garden. The next morning, StubHub explodes. Someone buys tickets for, I think it was $118,000 for 2 seats to go to the game. I'm looking at my feed everywhere. People are like, why would anybody spend this much money to try and get into the game? I hear such limiting language from everybody on the price of the seats are too much. You could just go and invest it or buy a car or go on vacation, but it's completely misplaced focus because why are you not thinking about how you can create a way to get into that game, right? Because that place is going to be bumping. So at this point right here, this thing is live and I've just originally posted this on my Instagram stories. So I straight just took a screenshot of just my original thing because I had not yet conceptualized where this was going to go. I'm almost just sharing along my journey because I normally do it. So it was screenshot 1 was my original prompt. Screenshot 2 was hey, here's what Claude said to me. I really like this here. Screenshot 3 is hey, here's all the things it can do. And then it gave me the artifact and I was like, oh, all this changed. And what also changed for me was my action, because for most people, you can just stop right here and be like, oh, look at this cool little artifact that I created on my website. But I truly believe that I can get into this game because I am the best in the world at the way that I create with AI, right? So now let's let some magic be created because if you don't ask, the answer is always no. I'm just crazy enough to believe that I can change the world or get into the most expensive game in the history of basketball. So I put it out there, and remember, my mom's in town from Arizona. She's there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, visiting my son. I've got a 4-year-old toddler. So this is not a campaign that I'm actively like doing stuff like I normally would if it's Monday through Friday, right? My time is limited to 0, but I wake up the next morning and I've got that juice. I've got that energy. I'm excited about this. So, what I do next in all of this is I just send the link to robcressy.com/game3 to 20 high-level people in my network, right? Hey, I was watching the game, had this idea to try and get into game 3. Let's create history. If you know anybody, send this along. And I did this to 20 high-level people, straight DMs or Instagram or LinkedIn. And why did I do this? Because of one of the things that it said at the very top here, where it said, you win the content whether you get in or not, right? This is the story right here. The reason why I am the best in the world is because I'm willing to go to these levels, be this creative, have this level of action, and live it. Most people just sit there and go, oh, that'd be so nice to go in there. It's like idea to execution in 5 minutes. And then from there, hey, here's what I got. And from this, there's an energy and there's a magnetism to this. So I am sitting here. So Saturday night goes on and I just send all the DMs. And then I go to someone's 40th birthday. There's like 12 people in the room. And I've posted this on my LinkedIn, my Twitter, and my Facebook. And when we get to dinner, one of the women there goes, oh, Rob, I saw your thing about getting into the Knicks game. How's it going? And I was like, whoa, this is pretty incredible. Unsolicitedly, someone said something. Earlier in the day, a friend of mine who I did not text also sent me something saying, Rob, saw what you're doing with game 3. That is incredible. And I was like, wow, there's real magic to this thing here. So one of the other things that I strategically did was I used Claude for creating this. So in my IG story, I made sure to tag Claude, who's run by Anthropic. And then in my Twitter, as I'm sharing the thread, I made sure to tag Claude and Anthropic on there. Why? Because in my mind, this marketing campaign writes itself. Because if you were an AI company, you could just jump on board for this thing right now, because this is living proof of what is possible when you use AI and or Claude. So someone could take this visibility and be like, wow, look at what's possible there. I'm aware right now I'm recording this on Monday at 11:26 a.m. and game 3 is in 9 hours. So in order for me to get there, I would need to turn this bad boy around in about 3 hours and get a flight to New York, which I'm perfectly willing and capable of doing. But game 4 is also a possibility, and the ticket prices for that are even more expensive right there. And I wanted to share this with you because one of the biggest skills, if not the biggest skill that you can learn in the AI era, is to think and dream big, because AI knows no ceiling, right? There's an infinite capacity of what's possible, and this has never been done before in the history of the world. Is something that happens every single day right now, right? The Knicks have won 13 games in a row. There's a chance that they could sweep this. It doesn't mean they're going to. There's a chance that they could. Victor Wembanyama, 22 years old, 7'4". We have never seen anything like him before in the history of the world. You're seeing the way that AI is pushing the boundaries on everything. We've never seen this before in the history of the world. Turning a website and flipping around in 5 minutes, never seen before in the history of the world. Congratulations. This is the new standard of what it looks like to create in the AI era. So here's my encouragement for you. Give yourself the gift today of 10 minutes to think and dream as big as you possibly can and bring it to life. Not just idea, not just, wow, look at this cool artifact. Actually see this thing all the way through and let this be the inspiration behind this, because you never know what could happen if you do. Because one of the quotes that I always anchor in is, those who are crazy enough to believe they can change the world do. Right? So there's never been a better time in the history of the world to make your dreams and goals and vision happen than right now. And it's oh so simple. But remember, there are levels to this game, just like there's levels to the NBA. Because step one, you want to be in the game. Step two, then you say, all right, well, how in the world can I do a version of what Rob just did? Number one, are you using Claude? Number two, are you using Claude Code? Number three, have you built your own website, or do you have the ability to bring something to life using HTML? None of this is hard. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff 3.5 years ago, or 3 months ago, or a month ago, right? This is Growth Mindset 101. You learn, and these things stack on top of each other like Lego blocks. So I didn't know when I used ChatGPT the first week it came out in December 2022 that 3.5 years later I was going to try and use Claude to get into the Knicks Spurs NBA Finals Game 3 or Game 4 by using AI, and then love the campaign that it created, right? This is the beauty of what we'll call the possibility era. And at the same time, this is also the show me your receipts era. There's a lot of people out there who live in the this is how I would do this era, right? Twitter is littered with this nonstop. My For You feed is a bunch of people telling you how they would do something. No, I want you to be someone who is a doer, who says, this is how I've built this. This is how I've done this, and you can too. And legitimately, I believe I can do this, and I am so inspired right now, because one of the things that I created for myself, and this is actually the first use case of it, I call it home run time, right? Because if we have an unlimited ceiling in the world of AI where you can do anything, then look at your calendar and say, where do I have a dedicated amount of time in which I am shooting for the moon? Tony Robbins calls these moon shots. For me, being a sports fan, I call these home runs, right? When you go up to bat, it doesn't mean you're going to hit a home run every single time, but boy, baby, let's swing and make it happen. And you might strike out 9 out of 10 times, and that's okay. But you want to step up, you want to get in your swing, and you want to go big. So then you say, all right, what's your system and process and structure for how you create home runs? What does this look like? So for me in this instance, this was actually a reverse home run creation, because I did it organically while watching the NBA Finals. Then once this thing was live, I was like, this is one of those home runs. I'm going to go and put this in my home run database. So now I'm even more inspired to be creating on a significantly bigger level, because it's oh so possible. And I was able to two-shot this in prompts in 5 minutes or less and bring this thing to life. And I was like, whoa. I'm impressed by what this thing created. So if you vibe with this, if you're impressed by this, if you know anybody, a company, an individual, a family office, someone in New York who has connections to the Knicks, the Spurs, Madison Square Garden, and anything in between, hit me up. I would love to have a conversation. And at the same time, I would love to hear from you. What is your home run swing today? What is that big dream, that big goal, that big thing that you're going after? Hit me up on Instagram or LinkedIn at Rob Cressy. Sending tons of love and good vibes your way. Here's to having a historic rest of the day.